men are responsible for 40% of fertility issues.
We've been talking about,
Yeah.
we've been talking about that more.
Huh.
And so that was a big part of our story. It's in the book. We were trying to get pregnant and it wasn't working. And then
hold on one slide.
So,
to your point, they did have me do 2 rounds of Clomid before
Before
they
they
tested
tested.
Jason, which
so
was
then,
a major
so then
mess.
they tested me and no sperm. I'm like, well, I don't understand. They're like, well, no sperm. And so I had this condition, azoospermia, and they didn't think it was genetic. I didn't have a genetic mutation for it. So they thought there was some sort of a blockage, something blocking the sperm. So there was an easy test where I think north of 90% of the blockages occur. And you had to go to the doctor. I'll bend over. I won't spare you the details, but it was painful and blockage wasn't there. And so it was a very low
Bend over. Wait, what do you mean?
See, Lauren, here you
Hold
were
on.
saying we don't do anything.
Do you have the whole fist up there, Doc?
Don't spare me the details. What
Whole
do you
fist,
mean,
Doc?
bend over? Like up your butthole?
Yeah, doctor went in there elbow deep and just went.
Wait, but how does that have to do with where the sperm's
So
coming
there's
out? I was
something
thinking it's
in
the
the
other way.
prostate?
They're
So
putting
there's
it.
he went pretty far.
Okay.
So the whole doctor went in there and the blockage was not in that spot where most of blockages occur. And it was kind of like we were hoping for that because that would have been the easier fix. And so it was a big question of whether or not I produced sperm at all. And there was a very small chance that the blockage was somewhere else. And so we went to a specialist. This guy flew in from St. Louis to New York once a month to do this procedure. And this was like a factory, like a fertility factory. Show up there at like 7 a.m. on a Saturday. And we meet with this older gentleman and he sits us down. He's drinking a Coca-Cola. And right away, I'm like, we're not going to vibe here. And he jumps into, I hope it works out because adopting is a terrible idea. The kids have all these problems.
Oh, Jesus.
And we're like, we don't believe in this. So I'm like, we also believe in like having a strong emotional connection with your doctor and, the healing energy. And this guy was like the total opposite. He's drinking soda. He's saying, if it doesn't work out, you're screwed. Adopted kids have all these problems. Let's go. Let's cut your testicles open. And so essentially that was the procedure where they cut my testicles open. I had anesthesia from the legs down. And we were lucky enough. It was, 12 vials of sperm. It was a gold rush. It was a success. It was the anesthesia wore off like an hour later, and it was laying in bed for a while.
Oh my God.
Limping around after.
And that was only like the limping around for a while. Like
How did they get
part
the
one.
sperm out? They
See,
They
Lauren,
cut
here,
open
listen, Lauren,
the
you see
testicle.
what
Hold
happens,
on,
you know?
but do they
Wait,
have
hold
to
on,
like
Lauren.
get the
Here
sperm
you
going?
are, Lauren, saying guys don't
Does
do
the
anything.
sperm
The
have to-
doctor's working this guy like a puppet
Does the
and
sperm, yeah, now
cutting
I
his
feel
nuts
bad.
open.
Okay, you've
So
taken
the
one
sperm
for the team.
is in the testicle. They
Okay.
cut open the testicle and extracted the sperm
Okay.
and took out
Don't
12
you feel
vials.
dumb now, Lauren, saying we don't do anything?
I want to commend you for talking about this. Jason, this is so important for more men to talk about because what I notice is that the woman always gets blamed and the woman wants to protect the man's ego. I've seen this a lot. And the woman almost will go along with the story that she's the quote unquote problem of why they can't get pregnant when it's actually the man.
It was, and look, this was getting to the starting line. It was still a journey, and a couple-year journey, and number of like it was a tough process. But like to your point, like men don't talk about it, and there was a problem. And to this day, I even went back after we had our second children. I'm like, test me again. Like, is this something spiritual, or maybe it was like my homocysteine level or something weird? And like, sure enough, like nothing was coming out. And the doctor was like, why do you care? I'm like, that's a really good point. Like you have healthy kids, you have sperm, it's all good. But like it was, and then
Yeah.
it still continued on. Like this was the starting line.
We got to the starting line, and then we thought it would just be
Easy.
Easy, fantastic. And it was a total of 9 IVF transfers and
Whoa.
15 embryos.
Hold on.
to
Does
get
that mean
to
that
our
you had
first
to,
child.
you had to do the shots to freeze embryos 9 times?
So I did 4 retrievals when you do the shots.
Wow.
And then 9 transfers. And on the 9th transfer, my doctor put in 4 embryos. And the embryologist was like, what are you doing?
So you could have had 4 kids at once?
I could have.